What's good, family? So smash the like button and subscribe. So my dog Anthony, the booty buster Joshua, has made some comments, or had some thoughts, had some feelings on Alexander. Very nice, my name Alexander. Mr. Alexander USYK has been aired out by the Chief Justice Bustin', yeah? Chief Justice Buster, AJ, has aired, on a lyrical level, aired out Alexander USYK, yeah? And essentially, AJ said he believes he's going to punish USYK. AJ said at the start of the video, he wants to punish USYK. Now, I've spent a long time telling you, man, he's a bum, which he is. That said, I'm gonna make a few videos on this topic over the next few months before the fight, but I'm gonna start right now making it clear. I do not want to see no 12-round fight. Let me say it right now, because guess what? The Pulev fight was touch and go. AJ versus Pulev was a touch and go 12-round fight. Pulev was old. He wasn't prime like USYK is. He wasn't as quick and nimble as USYK is, and he nearly went the distance. AJ, I do not want to see 5 rounds of inactivity. In fact, nothing to do with that. I just don't want to see. I don't want to see him ever not under pressure. Pulev fight, whatever you say. Yes, he's a heavyweight. I still think he's good for nothing, but whatever. USYK is a cruiserweight. Cruiserweights versus a fighting machine, a 6'6" fighting machine that AJ is. There's no way, absolutely no way, AJ should be taking a back step against USYK. It should be elbows in, chin down, Canelo versus Saunders style. Stalking him from the jump. You man tell me, how many back steps, yeah? How long did you see Canelo Alvarez backstepping versus Billy Joe Saunders? The few times you saw Alvarez backstep, it was literally a half step to avoid some offensive action from Billy Ho. You never saw Alvarez dancing backwards as Billy Ho came forwards. Never saw it. It was all tactical defensive maneuvers. That's all I want to see from AJ. And to be honest, I don't even really want to see that. What for? Get your elbows in. Just march forward. Walk him down. No backsteps. No defensive maneuvers. Elbows in, chin down. I'm all over him. It's just too small. So it's all well and good me coming on here and YB's, he likes to have a laugh and yeah, USYK is a bum and it's USYK. That's all well and good. But if you go in there and you treat him like someone else, you treat him how you treated Pulev like he's some boxing god. AJ fought Pulev like he was some magician in there. I've got to be wary of him and take 10 rounds. That was a 3-round fight, as I said months before that. And the good news is, AJ kind of ruined the Pulev fight. The Pulev fight was a great preparation for Fury. But now we've got an even better preparation for Fury. In as much as that tricky style. USYK has a even more trickier style than Pulev. So it's perfect. We know he's got footwork. Now Fury may come out against AJ and try the whole running forward business. But let's assume the worst case. The worst case is, well, if Fury's best chance of winning will be to dance around. Now, USYK is going to do something similar. This is the perfect opportunity, given that you spuffed the first one against Pulev. You didn't go in there and execute the game plan, cut the ring off and get to work. Now's your chance. He's small, he can't punch, just like Fury. Fury can't punch. Fury's got big... Yes, USYK is athletic, but still, he can't punch. Fury has big bubbly double Ds on his back. Bow jangling around. And USYK just ain't got no power. And Chisora said it, he ain't got no power. Now again, Chisora was paid off. So it's obvious what happened there. The reason Chisora kept backing up was he was paid off to back up. Because I've seen Chisora march down and mow down Dillian White and not back up. So don't tell me, USYK, you can't punch, you need to back up from him. And Chisora was taking his foot off the gas, literally. Some rounds, you'd see him literally just walk back. What's going on here? How come you can march down Dillian White in the second fight from the jump, but then USYK, you're dancing around and disengaging? Like, what is that? That there is what you call Eddie Hearn's check. That's what that was. But anyway, Chizora's already told you he's got no power, and we knew that anyway. That said, when these things come to light, he has no power. Us fans, us not 190 IQ fan / trainers, because I'm not just a fan to be fair, fans not even fair, I'm going to start calling myself a trainer. I am a 190 IQ trainer. I don't care what no one says. In the UK, the YB's probably put myself top 3 of all trainers in the UK right now. Oh, YB, never had a fight. I don't need to have a fight. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you right now. In the UK, the YB is a top 3 all-time trainer in the UK. Not all-time, sorry, currently. Of the current training roster, I'd put Shane McGuigan above me. And that's probably about it, to be fair. I'm not even sure about top 3. I'm top 2. How about that? The YB, from now on, oh, he's a commentator, he's a fan. I'm a trainer. Let's start getting something straight here. The YB is a top 2 trainer in the UK. Because you best believe, not one of my fighters ain't going to have to fight on the inside. Not one of my fighters is going to be going 10 rounds of Pulev when you've got a fighting machine like AJ. It's unacceptable. Not happening. Just like Manny Stewart said to whoever, many times. Get this guy out of it. It's not acceptable. I'd have been telling AJ, what are you doing in round 4, 5, 6, 7? It's not. I'll tell him, you ain't sitting down. You ain't having a drink. Get his bums out of there. Simple as that. There ain't no. AJ was in there with Pulev, going 10 rounds, and his trainer was like, oh yeah, great AJ, it's great, yeah. It's great you're in there with a 40-year-old man who ain't throwing a punch in. Pulev weren't throwing punches. You're in there with a 40-year-old man who ain't throwing punches, and it's going 5 rounds of inactivity, and you're a absolute fighting Adonis. If you had to design a fighting machine, it would look not far off AJ. That's not me. Oh, YB, YB, AJ's hanging out the back of you. No, it's just what it is. If you had to design, he's not too, like Tyson, people say fighting machine, but really, he can't go back. And he hasn't got the gas tank either. AJ's got the best of both worlds, tall and explosive. Not many, who's really had that? No one. I've never seen no heavyweight really throw 7 shots at once. Never seen it. AJ, even though he's not trained properly, does it for fun. So, simple as that. And when, again, all these things, what I'm explaining here is, these things come with a level of expectation. When you're fighting someone with no power and 200 pounds soaking wet, we can sit and laugh about it, but it comes with a level of expectation. Same with the whole thing. Him being a fighting machine. So well and good me sitting there and saying, look, he's a fighting machine, which he is, but it comes with a level of expectation. We can't have this environment where it is now. A lot of fans, a lot of AJ fans, they'll laugh at USYK, they'll agree that he's a fighting machine, and then accept 10 rounds of Pulev. No, it didn't work like that. That's why I'm not a fangirl. A fangirl, yeah, AJ's a fighting Adonis. Yeah, Pulev's old and whatnot. Then AJ goes 10 rounds and you say, oh no, it was the best thing ever. No, it was great. No, that's not how it works. That's what you call being a fanboy. I'm a realist. He's a fighting machine. And USYK is a bum. Fighting machine plus blown up 175 pounder equals no more than 6 rounds. How about that? That's the deadline for this fight. No more than 6 rounds. Or at least, number 1, you ain't taking no back steps. For what? Going back for what? Because to go back in my mind, yeah, that means you're trying to avoid something. What are we avoiding off USYK? What could we possibly be avoiding from USYK? Someone explain that to me, please. Because he couldn't finish some random bum, Chaz Lee. Some next random girl sounding name, Chaz Lee. Couldn't hurt him. Couldn't rock him. So what are we going back for? And he was just there to be hit on 2 days' notice. I've never seen, in fact, even at Cruiserweight, I've never seen USYK stun no one. Apart from Bellend, who's no good. So, AJ says he wants to punish USYK. Now, he said the same about Pulev. There wasn't no punishment in the Pulev fight. I hate to break it to you, there was no punishment in the Pulev fight. There wasn't. That was, I hit him probably 3 times hard in the whole fight. And he didn't want no more. Which shows how elite AJ is as a fighting machine, but it's not enough. For this Fury fight, which the USYK fight is a preparation fight, a stepping stone for that in my opinion, you want to get in the habit of going in there, marching forward and banging away. on something. Hitting something. Arms. Perfect. Just hit something. Treat Pulev like USYK like a heavy bag. Back him up and go to work. Back him up, go to work. Now Alvarez, he follows that similar game plan, but he only bangs really 1 or 2 at a time. AJ, I think he's actually better at this than Canelo, being able to put more together. Back him up, 3, 4, 5 together. I don't think you need the 7 and 8s, which we did see against Pulev. I think that's too much. That's how you end up gassing yourself out. Go in there, 3, 4s and 5s, bang away. Back him up, 3, 4s and 5s. That ain't gonna take long. I'm telling you now. Back him up, 3, 4s and 5s. Back him up, 3, 4s and 5s. He ain't going 6 rounds. Too small. His body will shake. Yeah? His central nervous system, too much vibration. He'll start feeling dizzy and lightheaded after a while. There's too much, you know what I'm saying? Way too much vibration will be juddering through him. His bone marrow is too, he ain't got enough bone marrow, no doubt. Yeah? His skeletal, his skeletal frame is too thin. He won't be able to take the shock. He'll probably end up, I know what I've lied, he'll probably end up with like some shattered bones. I'll tell you now, if I was training AJ, if the number 2 trainer in the UK was training AJ, by the end of the USYK fight, USYK would have shattered bones. His whole frame would be shattered. Just from the pure banging away of it, the pure absorbing of force. After the fight, they'd put USYK under an X-ray, and you just see a whole load of splinters through his bones, where his frame's just given up. Yeah, his frame's just given up like Tower 7. Total fundamental collapse is how his frame will be feeling, no doubt. And that's what we expect from a fighting machine. I don't want to hear no, oh well, I came here because I want to show everyone I can box, and that's played out now. I've heard that too many times. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear anything else. Not interested. Me personally. Some of you goofies may be interested in that. If you want to see AJ go put 12 rounds with USYK, then that's you. This is me. I'm telling you. Not acceptable. 6 rounds is the most. And to be honest, it's more about the process for me actually. The number 2 trainer in the UK, it's actually more about the process. I'm happy, if put it this way, if AJ goes in there, backs Pulev up, USYK up, goes to work, puts 3, 4, 5s together, backs him up, 3, 4, 5s together, and USYK is just real greasy and really gritty and manages to survive for 12, I can work with that, do you understand? We can't ask for something that's not possible. If he's really that bad that he can just take a good fundamental whooping like that, hats off to him. But we didn't get to see that in the Pulev fight. The Pulev fight was kind of like nothing in round 1, crazy for about 30 seconds in round 2, nothing for 8 rounds, and then 1 or 2 heavy shots in the last round. That's not good working. That's why it went 10 rounds. Because if he'd gone in there with my game plan, 3 rounds, he'd have been pummeled. Consistent working. And people say, oh, why be? But he doesn't want to get hit. Well, that's why you work on evasive defense. At the moment, AJ's only defense is disengage, dance out. That's low IQ. I hate to break it to you. Disengaging your opponent, disengaging your 40-year-old pillow-fisted opponent who ain't throwing no shots anyway, is low IQ. That is what you call a Rob McCrappen kind of trainer. That is not what the number 2 trainers teach you. Sorry, that's not what the top 3 trainers teach you. The top 3 trainers teach you how to be elusive when in range. How to make your opponents miss and make them pay. How to keep safe within range. So you, especially when you're a fighting machine, yeah, when you can put 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shots together like AJ can, you've got to be in a position to get them off. Does that make sense? AJ's, because he's so good offensively, it's no good having that level of offense, but never being in the position to get it off, which is where his training's taking him now. AJ's training now constantly teaches him how to disengage. Well, guess what? When you're disengaging every 2 seconds, you're never in the pocket long enough to get them shots off. It's not natural to be there, and that's why when he does clip someone, as we saw in the Pulev fight, he kind of just goes crazy. It's not strategic. It's not planned out. It's not a systemic plan. It's kind of like, oops, oh, let's go mad, go crazy. There's no building, and that's what I wrote about Alvarez. Yes, his pace is a bit slow for me, but I like it because it's structured. Not rocket science, but elbows in, chin down. I'm backing him to the ropes. I'm putting 2 big shots in. I'm resetting. I'm backing him to the ropes. I'm putting 2 big shots in. I'm resetting. I'm backing him to the ropes. I'm putting 2 big... It's like a metronome. And guess what? Metronome works. Consistency. Chopping the tree. These days, you've got all these fruity trainers, Ben Davidson, who think, I don't know what planet they're on. You've got all these top 1,000 trainers. These Instagram trainers come along and got a clue about the sport. Oh, yeah, I know what to do. Let's just disengage every 2 seconds. Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Josh Taylor, you're in the biggest fight of your life, and you're definitely good enough to stop the man. I'll tell you what we'll do. The last 4 rounds, just clown about and dance around for 4 rounds. That's what Instagram trainers get you. Now, Josh Taylor loves it. I don't know what planet he's on, but I'm telling you now, that was, any fan honest with themselves, Josh Taylor was a letdown against that person. That was his undisputed fight. He could have finished it in style. Instead, goofy trainer, goofy attitude, had him wasting the last half of the fight. Since when is that acceptable? And I actually believe Josh Taylor deserved to lose that fight. You don't switch off away from home in an undisputed fight for the last 5 rounds. What kind of attitude is that? Who trains someone to do nothing for 5 rounds in an undisputed fight? When you're good enough, clearly, put him down twice when you're good enough to stop the man. What happened to wanting to like do the best performance and get the best out of yourself? This whole Mayweather Klitschko, oh, you know what? Let's just get through and nick about 12 rounds and bore everyone to tears and take absolutely no risk. What is that? I don't get it myself. When you're gifted with training these kind of machines, you owe it to yourself and to them to get the best out of them. D'Amato talked about how these days everyone's just caught up in their own mind. Me, Mayweather style. Klitschko style to an extent. Me. D'Amato, when he was training, Mike Tyson would say that, or I'm not sure exactly the words, but along the lines of, the fans are your, you know what I'm saying? You owe it, yeah, again, I'm not sure about the actual quote, but it's something along the lines of, you owe it to the fans, you're indebted to the fans. Without the fans, you are nothing. It's like the whole belief system's all mixed up now. It's all about, oh, how can I, you know what I'm saying? And what do we know about Mike Tyson? There's a reason Mike Tyson back in the 80s was selling more pay-per-views than they are now 30 years later, despite all the inflation and whatnot. There's a reason for that. He was giving what the fans what they want. So it's all well and good. People get short-sighted. Oh, me, you know, by being selfish, you end up just spiting yourself. Because going 12 rounds of Pulev or with USYK or whoever else, in the long run, you're taking away from your market value. There's a reason, like, the interest in AJ's fights hasn't continued exponentially rising. Now, some people say, oh, well, YB, it's because his competition's improved. His competitions are bums. How about that? And this is the thing with the training aspect. Who do you believe in? What are you saying here? Oh, but YB, the competitions have increased. What, are you saying that AJ isn't good enough? You're making out AJ, yeah, has absolutely maxed out his technique and whatnot. And he's absolutely at the pinnacle. And, oh, well, YB is absolutely perfect at everything now. And he just can't get... AJ's probably 20% of his capacity right now of what he could be doing. Bottom line, that's where he's at now. So don't tell me, YB is because the competition's improved. The competition's a bums. How about that? Pulev was a bum. Didn't throw a punch the whole fight. I don't remember. Whatever I don't remember Pulev throwing one punch. He weren't throwing. Just standing there, waiting to be teed off on. Elbows in, step and roll on the way in, and get to work. That's what you should be doing. Oh, YB, you've oversimplified it. Oh, YB, it's easier said than done. Well, that's what training camp's for. Training camp's for finding creative ways, defensively acute ways to get on the inside. That's the science of it. That's what you're doing. AJ said he's in the gym 6 hours a day. Well, what are you doing for 6 hours? Because putting a jab in and disengaging, it took you 10 years to learn that. These cats, AJ's training 6 hours a day. And the most creative thing he could do in the Pulev fight was step in and step out. Wow! Don't tell me, YB, what are you talking about? McCrappen had got him to undisputed. Or unification. That just shows you how great AJ is. How great his base is. AJ can be 20% fulfilled and still be miles above the rest. But imagine if he was moving at 80-90% of his capability.